Hi everybody, it's Belinda from Belinda's Book Nook, and normally I would be doing a Friday reads, but today I decided, yes, almost at the end of March, to fill my top shelf for my TBR, my TBR card. I talked to you guys before about it, and since I didn't do so well last year, I decided that I'm going to only do the top part of the cart. This part is still going to stay for the journals, and the bottom has some books in there, just kind of, I need extra space for books, but they aren't books that necessarily are going to have to, be on that list. So these books that I place in here will be in here. A lot of you said to leave space for new books as they come. I'm not good at that. So I've put a couple of new stuff in here, and I'm just going to lock it in with these. Let's see what I do, roll the die and see how many I read of these, and then I will probably still be, a sucker for the new releases and anything else under the sun that I hear about. So without further ado, let's get a look at the books that I'm going to put in there for this year, for 2023. And the other thing is I'll leave a link below so you don't have to write anything down, and you can go to my blog and you will see all of the books with many descriptions below them. And if you click the book cover, it'll bring you to, I think, Amazon. So you can see how much you have to dole out if you want to buy them, or if you just want to see more information or other reviews and stuff. So there you have it. So I'll leave that link below. So the first book that I'm going to talk to you about is one that I had last year on the TBR cart. There are definitely going to be some reappearances of books that I didn't do last year. Some of them because I just felt I really wanted to read them and I just didn't. So I'm hoping that this will help also to get them, make it happen this year. This is one of them. I had started it and I just never finished it, not because it's not good, just because I am all over the place sometimes with my reading. And that's The Sum of Us, What Racism Costs Everyone and How We Can Prosper Together by Heather McGhee. I won't go into detail really about the books so that I won't take up too much time, because it's a lot of books that can fit into this shelf. Like I said, you can look up the descriptions about them. But this one, what I will tell you is I saw this author speak about 2 years ago, or a year ago, 2 years ago, can't remember now. And I wanted to buy her book. I just was very convinced and loved her approach. I wanted to read more and find out more about her. I know she since has created a podcast, I believe, and I think it's either on Audible or Spotify. One of those two. I think she carries one. I haven't listened to it, but I know that there is one, and I think she goes around the country and try to talk about some of these topics. So there is that. She's making her appearance on there again. Hopefully this year it will happen. This is a book I've had forever and ever and ever and ever. An author that I want to read. She has a new book that came out, I think, last year, or at the beginning. No, last year, I think, that I really wanted to read, but I said I'm not going to I didn't even buy it because I have 2 of her books that I want to read. And that's A Sense of Control, because there was a lot of good buzz on the latest book. But the book that I'm talking about and the author I'm talking about is Shafak, and this is The Bastard of Istanbul. And this one I've had in here. I've had this book for a long time. I think I got this, if I'm correct. Sometimes I can tell inside if I got it at the thrift shop. I can't remember. I either got it there or I got it at the library sale. And this is one I definitely want to read. And she's got a new one out. I know is really good. Got really good reviews. And I'm like, oh, but I'm not cutting the line. All right, so this one I talked to you guys about a couple of videos back when I did my Boston book festival. When I talked about this author, I didn't get a chance to go see her, but I really felt that the book was an important book that I wanted to read. It's another nonfiction. Well, this is Some of Us is nonfiction, and The Bastard of Istanbul is obviously fiction. But this one's called Viral Justice: How We Grow the World We Want by Ruha Benjamin. And it's the one with the really pretty covers. I think at the end of the year, I'm going to do a little, what covers my top 5 or top 6 or whatever. I don't know what number I will of covers. This is definitely going to make it because I think it's just stunning. So that's one that I want to read. So we've got 2 nonfiction and a fiction. Let's keep track of that too, because I'm kind of curious about myself. I just did these. I didn't think about whether it's fiction or nonfiction or what kind of genre either. So I should kind of analyze that too. The next one I got this, I was so excited. This author, I've read a book, one of her books, and I loved it. I think it was The Space Between Us. I think that's the one that I read. Let me see if it tells the name of it. But the name of this one is Honor by Trudy Umrigar, I guess is how you say it. I think it was The Space Between Us, and I loved it. And I wanted to read this one so bad when it came out new, and I was like, oh, I don't want to pass up the money to get it. And let me tell you, I got this at the library sale, and I think I only paid $2 for it. And I'm super excited. So I want to read this because I really enjoyed the last one by her. I don't know if I have a review up on my blog of that one, of the other book, but really good book. This author, I've read all of her books, and it will continue. This is probably the first time I'm very behind in her series. I've read her old series, and I'm really smitten with the new one, and that's Sujata Masay, and this is the Bombay Prince, The Mystery of 1920s India. This is part of a series, a Pervy mystery series, and they are really fun, good detail, lovely. She does a lot of research before she writes her books, and puts a lot of effort into it, and you really feel it in the book, in a good way, not in a textbook way, but it definitely enlightens you to a lot that was going on in that time period. So this is the next one. The newer one is coming out this year. I want to say July. So I need to have this happening before July so that I can feel good getting the next one, like, ooh, So there's that. This one, and that one was on, I think that's fiction. That was also, I believe, on last year. This one was definitely on last year. And this is Tayari Jones' Silver Sparrow. Been wanting to read it, just want to read it. I read her other book, which was, what was that? An American Marriage, that's what it was. And I really liked it. So I'm really curious. A lot of people like this one, and some people preferred this one over that one. So I want to see how I feel about it. I believe she wrote this one before, An American Marriage. So it would be interesting to see. So there's that one. It's a repeat. Here's another one that was a repeat from last year, and I just feel like I gotta have it happen. I have several Bernice L. McFadden books, of which I have Sugar, and I have not read any, and it seems like it just keeps going on that I haven't, and it's not really a long book, so I don't know why I haven't sat down and read it. This is the 20th anniversary edition, which I loved, and I had to snag it when I got it, so I do want to read that one. And then I have, and let me know if you'd rather I told you more about the books instead of just doing a link, but I just figured like it takes a long time, and I didn't want to do 2 videos. So, and some of you probably are very familiar with some of these books. So this one is a newer release. It's just became released, I think. Came released. You like how we're talking now? I think it was released last month, if I'm correct. Doesn't say in here the actual date. It says 2023. But this one is called Dust Child. This one was one of my recent, in my book haul video. If you look at the January, February book haul video, I talked about this particular book, and the book nerd in me wanted this cover. I love this edition. I thought it was so pretty. And it's by Nguyen Phan K Mai, or Nguyen. Yep. And and this one I definitely want to get to. I have not read. I think this one he wrote, The Mountain Sings. I wanted to read that one. Have any of you read that one? I've heard that was really good. So I'm hoping that this one will be good as well. Like kind of a historical fiction. Let me put this in the back so that I have room. We're getting there. This one is one from the new releases that I purchased recently, and that's Rose in the Burma Sky by Rosanna Amaka. This is the one that Dee Dee told me about, and I was like, yeah, it's gonna happen. So the sound of this sounds really good, and it looks like it's gonna be really an easy read, like a fast read. So I'm excited about this one. And this one is set, I think, both in Nigeria and. Yeah, it's in Nigeria, and then I guess he gets involved with the war. Okay, it's kind of a war story, but sounds very good. This one is another nonfiction. This is the one I told you about before. It's called Before Busing, A History of Boston's Long Black Freedom Struggle by Zebulon Vance Miletsky. I had started this, and I got in just through the introduction, and I was really enjoying it. And when I went to go look this up to put it in the blog, on Goodreads, there was one review that was just kind of mean. They just did not feel like this did anything. So I'm hoping I'll have a different experience than they had. I feel like just alone in the introduction, I have already highlighted stuff. So I feel like there's stuff that I can learn from this, and that's what I'm going to try to use as my takeaway. I think that, I don't know, I can't remember exactly what their concern was. It might have been that they, I don't know. I just felt like, or maybe something about the amount of information, or was it anything not new or something? I don't know. It's all new to me, so I'm really interested in reading about this, so we will see. And then this one, you will pause heard me talk about as well. This was on there last year too. So there's a lot of repeats with a few new. Is Cast, The Origins of Our Discontents by Isabel Wilkerson, who is the author of The Warmth of Other Suns, which if you haven't read that book, read it, read it, read it. I can't say that about this one because I haven't read it, but I'm sure this is really good. This is a different type of book, so it's not going to, that other one is just magnificent, really magnificent. And so it's well worth reading the other one. But I do want to read this because I think she is a very good writer and researcher, so I want to see how this book plays out. So there's that. That is also a nonfiction. So yeah, we got a lot of nonfiction on there. The rest of them are all fiction, so we're good. This book I've had since, I wanted to say when I was looking this up, that I bought this in either 2019 or 17. Like it's that, I don't think I wrote in it. I don't think so. But I probably have it in my book journal. I've had it a long time. I want to read her. I want to not be in the not have read N.K. Jemisin's book. This is the 5th season. It's the first of a trilogy, I believe. It's a Hugo Award winner in 2016. Where have I been? We all know why, though, right? Let's just take a look at how big it is. So there's that. There's also the fact that it's kind of a science fiction fantasy, and depending upon how out there it gets, I tend to get lost sometimes. So I'm hoping it's not going to be that, though. I'm probably going to end up loving it and be like, why did I wait so long? So this is one. I feel like this one would be great to read in the summer. You know, for some reason it feels like it's like just dive into a big chunky book in the summer and that will engross you while you're sitting there in the sun. I don't know. I feel like that is going to be it. 2 more books. Okay, this one I told you about in my recent hauls in January, February. It's like One of the Family, Conversations from a Domestic's Life by Alice Childs. And like I said, it gives me the Blanche. Do I have any of the Blanche books up here? I think they're all on my bookshelf downstairs. It just gives me the feels. I want to, see what these women had to say, and I find it very interesting. And it's a classic. I think I had, maybe it now. I was going to say, yeah, you can consider Sugar a classic. So I have 2 classics on here then. So this will be my other classic, right? Trying to look, and then this is a mystery, and, trying to see what kind of books I have on here. And the last one is also from that book haul. So I did put at least 3 or 4 from my my recent hauls, so that there are some new books on there too. And that's Rivers Sing Me Home by Eleanor Shearer. And this is another one that is definitely on the top 10 list of prettiest covers this year for me. This one I definitely want to get to as well. And although it is big, I feel like this one is going to be, it has like the right size. Let's just talk about this font. So that's inviting. I love how they have the little birds at the beginning of the chapters. I'm interested in reading this one. I think it's going to be great. And that's it. So these are the ones that I want to read. Down here are my book journals, and this is the current one, which I need to get some more updating. Got some flags in here of things that I need to get on that I haven't got to yet. But these are the ones I'm going to try to sprinkle in for the remainder of the year and see how many I can read. And so I think there's, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So there almost was one per month. If I was really being good, that's how I could do it to make it happen. But that's not the case. So, so there's a chance that some of these won't get read, but I'm hoping if I make it more than a half of what I have here, I think it's a success. Because sometimes having them make their way to the bookshelves is like a kiss of death. Like I don't see it out of sight, out of mind. And so this is kind of a nice thing for me to try to get to books that I want to. Some that are older, like this one's definitely older here. This one I've had a while, as well as The Sugar is an older book I haven't had as well. But Elif Shafak's is definitely been on my shelf for a long time. So bringing it to the front, it makes it a lot easier for me to, you know, think that it would be something that I want to read. Oh, and I forgot to mention too, I brought my orchid up so you can see my orchid because it's blooming now, and I think it's pretty. Because it's spring. I'm all happy about spring. Spring makes me happy. Except for my allergies. That's the only other thing. But anyway, let me know if you guys did a TBR cart. If you've read any of these. Things you think I should push to make sure that I get done. I'm definitely going to make a better effort this year to do it. I'm trying to kind of put my blinders on to too many reading challenges, because what they do, although as fun as they are, they just take me away from my bookshelves, and I need to go into my bookshelves. So hopefully I can stay focused and do that. So anyway, I'm not going to talk anymore. Check the link. You'll see more descriptions if you don't know about them, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.